Hello everyone, this is Tina from Tina's Workshop. And if you have not been here before, I do all kinds of things from knitting to crocheting to spinning my own wool to drawing and painting and so many other things. And I do a little bit of everything here. So this is episode 2 of my podcast that I'm trying to do once a month, just letting you see some of the other things that I'm doing behind the scenes. So I'm going to start off by, if you watched last week's video, then you saw the cowl that I made with this yarn, this bloom yarn. And if you didn't see that video, you might want to go back and watch it. But I had made this cute little cowl with that yarn, and it like self patterns itself. And then that was the pattern that it's written for. So there's that they actually had that pattern written up. So once I had done that, and I actually only didn't even finish one skein of yarn, and it said it would take 2. But since I had extra yarn, I thought, well, let's try something else and see. And there was a pattern for a hat with one of their other colors. And I thought, well, I'll try that and see what happens. So I did the hat. And it came out just as cute, I think. It worked up really good, and it still has that same, self-striping thing to it. So then I thought, why not do ear warmers? So I used the same cast on for the hat for my size, but I wanted the ear warmers to go with this. So I wanted it to have the edges that and looks more like that. So that's what I did on that. And there's the little ear warmers. So they don't have the little flower pattern as prominent because the flower pattern is right on the edges, but it's very centered. I thought it actually came out pretty cute. So that was the ear warmers. But then I had some people that were talking about, well, I wonder with crocheting how it does. So, because you gotta try it all, right? I did a crocheted one so we could compare and see how crocheted came out. And there's the crocheted. And it works. I mean, it's a cute headband and everything. But when you look at these side by side, the color patterning, you know what? Let's put the hat. The way the colors pattern, they do not pattern the same with the crochet as they do with the knitting. I really think the way this coloring, the stripes aren't as bad, but when it comes to having this have that flowered look, it just looks like speckled here. So I do think this yarn works better if you're knitting it, but if you just really enjoy the colors of it, then, by all means crochet it. And I love to crochet, so, I'm definitely not talking down on crochet. I've crocheted for 40 years now. And I've only knit for 20 years. So I definitely do a lot more crochet myself generally than knitting, but I do think this yarn looks much better as a knit piece than as a crocheted piece. So for those of you who watched last week's and were curious about it working up on other patterns and how it would work up as crochet, now you know. Inquiring minds. So while I'm on the little bit of ear warmers, I kind of got on a kick of doing them lately. And I had done this one. And these two are actually going to be for sale at the church sale next week, this next weekend at our church. I was doing things for the sale. These ones are super, super soft and fuzzy. And also, if you watched last week's, you would see at the very end that I said, oh, I have a touch of laryngitis. Yeah, it wasn't laryngitis. I have been sick in bed in quarantine for a week now, and I just got released today. So yay, I'm out of my bedroom. I feel so much better. But what happens when mama's sick and mama gets bored? Mama starts just, I don't know. I started a dog sweater and I was going by a pattern. It wasn't working. So I ripped part of it back out and I now have this itty bitty little collar and I put it on my dog and he's hiding right now, or I would show you. It looked super cute on him, but he was not a fan of it. Let's see if I can pull up. I mean, come on. I'm so cute. But he, yeah, he was like, oh, come on, Mom, why'd you do that? So it was originally for a different dog, and then where it was in the blue colors, I'm like, oh, I'll make it as a collar for him. But maybe it'll just be a little collar for my head. So let's see, what else have I been doing while I was laying in there sick? I'm working on a crochet along right now. I love the crochet alongs. Can't help myself. Actually, I take it back. It's not so much I love the crochet alongs. I love the ones this yarn company puts out. They're called Sidar, and they are a UK company. But I like the ones they do. There's a Facebook page so you can interact with other people doing the same thing. I like the videos they put out. I like the way they write up their patterns, even though I've had to retrain my brain so that I'm reading the stitches. The first one I did, I actually sat and marked them all off and rewrote them to the US terms. And now I've done enough of them that I've gotten used to their terminology and what the stitches are. But I just really like the way they put their crochet alongs together. And I've done all but one of their crochet alongs so far since they started doing them. And the only reason I didn't do that one is I was in the process of making a different blanket at the time. So they have a Christmas one that they're working on right now, 2 weeks so far. And Wednesday will be the start of week 3. And it's, I believe, a 6-week crochet along. If you wanted to do it though, head on over to Sidar, SIDAR. I'll put a link down below. Because you could get caught up really easily. So the first week was these cute little squares with Christmas trees on them. And the pattern has loopy, the whole tree is done in loops, which is really cute. But I have dogs and my dogs like to climb in my lap and dig at my blankets. And I was afraid all those little loops would get caught in their nails. So I didn't do the loops, which I will say, if you want to do it quicker, it's going to be a lot quicker not doing the loops. But that's not why I did it. I thought the loops were adorable, but since I didn't do the loops, to add a little something else, I'll put a bell on it. So yes, my blanket's going to make noise, but I love Christmas so much that I'm not going to care. And so then this week, you had 2 squares to do, actually 2 rectangles to do, and they're stockings. And since I had the bells on the other one, I added bells, because whenever I make Christmas stockings, I always put bells on the stockings anyway. So that's this week's. And so this one is done in blocks. And let me grab the pattern and I'll show you what it is. Okay, so this is what the finished blanket is going to look like. So we've done the, let's see if I can get my finger in the right spot, the trees, and now the stockings. And so, and you can buy their yarn, which I did do if you watched my coronation crochet along that I had done. That was with their yarn. And because they had a little label that I really wanted the label because of the historicness of the coronation and everything. So I wanted their label to put onto it. And then I gifted that blanket to my aunt. This one is the second one they've done with a label. But I wasn't as concerned about the label on this one. So I am actually using Caron Simply Soft because I have a ton of that yarn right now. And I had all the colors that I needed. So I'm using that on mine. But anyway, I will put the link, and the patterns are all free downloads. So they come out every Wednesday. So that is another thing that I completed while I was in there. I needed something to do every day. So, and then I started yesterday, also because of all this time I've been spending by myself, watching YouTube and everything. I found this girl yesterday, and she's a younger girl, and she has written this pattern, and her pattern went viral, and it was well deserved. It's an amazing pattern, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I needed to make it. And I bought the pattern last night, and it's a little bit more pricey than I generally spend on patterns, but it's unique. And she put a lot of time into this, so I wasn't going to try and make it on my own. She put a lot of time and a lot of thought. She actually, in the pattern, she has a little story, in a sense, about how this pattern came about and the time she put into it. So she's put a lot of work into figuring this thing out, but it's the cutest pattern. A bouquet of flowers, and that bouquet opens up into this blanket. How cute is that? So like I said, I saw it. I wanted to make it, and I grabbed out some yarn that I had. This one is going to probably be about a baby blanket size because of the amount of yarn I had to be able to work with. And this is where I am at so far. I've just done my first row with the leaves, and I'm going around that. So I've got these vines and then the leaves, and you end up with 4 rows that have leaves by the time you're done. So there'll be a whole nother section like this that's plain before you get to another leaf. And then flowers go around the outside edge. And I think it's just so cute. I mean, I will link her down below too, because, I think it's wonderful that she's been able to, put the thought into this, and it's well deserved. So I will link her below as well. And let's see, is that all I think that's all the things I did while I was laying in there sick. Before I ended up sick, I believe I showed you last time the inkle loom I had gotten, and I had my husband make me a shuttle for my inkle loom, and it came out so beautiful. So now I can actually use that, but I ended up sick, so I haven't gotten to, warp it or anything yet. But I'm hoping to do that maybe this week. And then, if you remember my video from a couple weeks ago when I was spinning with a stick, there it is. Here's the one I spun. So I was spinning with the stick, And I absolutely loved that. I thought that was amazing. So then I decided I I just liked the way it worked, and I liked I didn't have to have all this room and stuff. So if I was sitting somewhere in a smaller space, like in the car, because like I'll bring a drop spindle with me in the car. But the only thing is when you're moving in the car and you're swaying and it drops and it's going different ways and you only have so much space really to work with, you can't, there's a lot you just can't do that way. And a supported spindle, you've got to be balancing that upright. And this you could do because you're either holding it or you were just rolling it on your leg. And I liked that. So I wanted to create something along that lines. So I drew up, is it in here? I drew a design and I told my husband I was drawing this design. I don't know if that's going to show up because it's so light. And then my son said, well, Mom, why don't you make a prototype? Okay, good point. So I just took a really thin dowel and put a hook in it and I tried it. And it worked. It didn't work super well because it's so thin, but it worked. I mean, you can see I spun it. So I'm like, okay, prototype done. It's workable. So then while I was sick, my husband took the idea and he made one for me. And so just before I turned this on, I added the hook to it because I always do all our hooks. So this is the one that he has done for me. And without anything to it, it spun beautifully on my leg. So let's see how this actually works. We're going to give it a shot and start it off first. And then let's see if I can, oh. Okay. Come on, stay. Okay. Again, I'm using this wool that's a little bit grabby, so it's a little harder to just draft it, but this spins really well on my leg, kind of like when you're rolling a Navajo spindle. And you can park it, or you can even just kind of leave it lay there. It'll stay. Or you can sit and you can twist this way, but you can get a little bit more twist going here. And let's see, let's roll it. You can just leave it lay there. You don't really even need to park it. It's not going anywhere. You can work in a little space. Oh my gosh, I am so happy with this one. This is exactly what I was trying to do. I don't know. If you're a spinner, let me know what you think. And I had him do this. Let's see. Focus. Come on. Focusing. I had him do, I kind of gave him leeway. I'm like, do whatever you want. I just, I gave him some basics, but I said, you can make it pretty however you want. And look at that. Look at. So that is my new spindle creation that I had my hubby help me with. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Let's get. I always do that. I get it too tight. There we go. Now I probably have it twisted. I tend to do that. So yeah, let me know down below if you're a spinner what you think of this. I like it. I really like it. And all because of a stick. And I'm surprised that there isn't any that other people have done. So, okay, let's see. Next item up for bid. Okay, completed oh, let's see. I haven't gotten really far since the last time you saw these. This is still that first sock that I'm working on. I have gotten a little bit further, but if you watch that last video, I was teaching myself continental knitting, and I was starting to get the hang of that. So I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to do that with this, which will then hopefully make this go a little faster too. But I don't sit and work on this all the time because I have the crochet along I'm doing. Now I just started this other blanket. I just got an order for seven hats that I need to get made pretty quickly. I have another order for another hat I need to get done. Then I have another baby blanket order, but that doesn't have to be done right away, so that's good. And I'm sorry. You know what? I was just thinking, I start rocking like this, and I don't know if it bothers you. I have a rolly chair, and I just tend to start moving in it, and I don't really mean to. I guess it's kind of like being in a rocker and you start rocking. So I apologize when I start doing that. Anyway, and I love my bag. Little, what is it? The Mermaid. Oh gosh, what is their whole name? I know I've told you about them before. Wait, oh, I left it in here so that I could remember it when I did tell you. And they just uploaded new stuff on Etsy, so and including this bag. Oh, come on, I know I left it in here. I know I put it in here. I'm sure I did, because I had that specific thought. Let me stick it right here. I apologize. Oh, being a liar to myself here. Okay. There's where I put it. The Happy Mermaid Yarn Company. And I will put them down below too after all that. But they are on Etsy, and they just uploaded a whole bunch of yarn and a whole bunch of bags. So definitely check them out, especially if you like little project bags. They have zippered bags and they have drawstring bags. And all their bags also come with these cute little sachets with some lavender in them. Smells super good. So yeah, go check them out. And set that back down. I haven't gotten any new yarn made, so I don't have any of that to show you. I think that's all in the sense of stuff that I have done or that I'm working on. So I guess the last thing I have to share with you is going to be Paradise Fibers. So my Paradise Fibers subscription came in the mail a couple days ago. So I've been just sitting there staring at it, not being able to do anything about it. So it's time to open it. The packaging is really super cute. It's got a really nice fall flare and it's like little lightning bugs and, you know, the fall leaves and everything. So do not know what's going to be in it, but excited to find out. So I will put you guys down to table camp so you can see with me. Okay, let's see. That's good enough. Okay. Cards. Ooh, Out of the Dark. Okay, yeah, I see that. Very pretty. This month, I was feeling inspired by the contrast of the seasons and how dark the winter can be. Losing the sun earlier and earlier can be hard. Oh my gosh, it is so hard for me. I like the long days of summer, and when it starts to get dark, I was sitting there thinking I need some way of having a like my windows light up with a light so that I feel like it's daylight. I can't stand the dark. I mean, I'm a night person, and I'm not saying I don't like the dark. It's just I want more daytime. Uh, but when you add some light to the darkness, it can also make it feel cozy. Warm cups of tea and coffee, a comfortable sweater, snuggly blankets, it all helps to combat the dreariness. I hope this month's bag brings some brightness and comfort to your winter season. For our sample, I wanted a night sky with stars for my darkest shade, which turns to a dawn twilight hue. Still dark, but you can tell the sun is coming up to a sunrise shade that hits so much blue and gold. Lastly, I wanted the bright yellow of a fresh morning. My plan is to chain ply it into a somewhat worsted weight yarn and then use the resulting yarn to make a Friday Shrug by Jackie Rose. If you'd like to follow our progress on the shrug, we'll have updates in our Fiber Club exclusive deals area. So, our fibers this month are a smooth 19 count merino that's a bit finer than our standard fare, a new favorite 25 micron count mohair, and a bright spark of electric yellow fire star to set it all off. We're offering Fiber Club members an extra discount this month, 20% off, 10%. Okay, so let's see. We have so many bags. Let's see, the first one is a blue merino, 2 ounces. Ooh. That's beautiful. That's like the color of blue is a little bit different, I want to say. I was expecting it a little bit more of a bright blue like this, and I actually really kind of like the shade that it is. It's really pretty, and of course, super soft. Okay, I'm not going to say that right. Taureg merino, Taureg. Okay, let's see. 2 ounce, 2 ounce. Oh, I bet. No, okay. The way they have it lined up here, we're going to go along with that. Okay, so I think this might be that one. That's super dark. Oh my gosh. That is a super dark blue. So pretty though. That is so pretty. Okay. So then gold is the next one. So I'm going along what they have right here. So there's a gold. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, and then sun is the last color. These are all 2 ounces and they're all merino. That is a bright, bright yellow. So there's Alexa, stop. Sorry about that. I set a timer so I would make sure and get my laundry. So there's the 4 main colors, 2 ounces each. And then, yeah, that color is definitely that dark one because now it says there is a Tarig mohair, and I know I'm not saying that right. About a half an ounce. A cute little bag with the stars. There's that same blue. Look how shiny that is, where it's a mohair. Let's see. Just shimmers, catches the light. Huh, which is, I guess, the reasoning. Huh. Okay, so that one, we'll set that one there. And then electric yellow fire star, 1 poof. That's what it says. It's 1 poof. So it's in a little black bag, and there is the fire star. Oh, I don't know if you can even tell how bright that is, but let me tell you, it is a very bright, yeah, at least on my computer, it's not showing it the way I'm seeing it in person. It is so bright. That is some shiny stuff. Okay, what else is in here? Another little bag. Pretty little blue bag. We have a handy tape measure. Those are handy. I love tape measures. I have them everywhere. These kind are really nice too. So we got a handy tape measure, a cinnamon apple chamomile tea. Oh, that sounds so good. I love my chamomile. I never thought of cinnamon apple in it. Definitely going to be trying that one tonight. A light bulb progress marker. Ah, that's funny. So if you don't know, these types, if I can get it focused without having to touch the screen. No, I'm going to have to do it. Okay. These types of little pins, they're called a light bulb pin, and a lot of times our progress keepers and stuff are on them. So when it said a light bulb progress keeper, I thought that's what it meant. It's an actual light bulb. How cute is that? It's a little light bulb. And our Eunice sticker. Oh, it's so tiny. Oh, it's an itty bitty Eunice sticker. Oh, it's so tiny. I might have to put that one on my drink cup. Super cute. Okay, there's, let's set the light bulb right there. There's all of our paradise fibers. I can't wait to get into this. This is gonna be fun. Let's see. What was last month's? Last month's was, oh, yes. This one, this was last month, and I spun it all up. That was from last month. So that's all been spun up now. Yeah. So that was from that one from last month in October. And in case you don't remember, so these are the ones I had gotten, and I spun them all up. And this was the skein from Lambtown that I had brought home. And then I think I showed you those ones last month, but anyway, that's last month spun up. So now we have this one to do. They have some ideas here on blending it and doing different things with it. So we'll see what I decide to do. I'm not really positive how I want to do it yet. I'll have to think about that one. But this could be fun to play around with. Well, I know it'll be fun to play around with.
So, as usual, because things never seem to be able to go totally smoothly for me, I got to this point in editing and noticed that my microphone had shut off right when I switched cameras. I don't know why, but it did. So there's no sound on the send piece. Exactly what I was saying right there, I do not remember. But for the most part, I know my words kept failing me, so there was a couple times that I just kind of got stumped. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please click like, click subscribe if you'd like to see more, hit the notification if you'd like to be notified when I upload videos. And words, I just lost my words again. So anyway, hope you all had a good time, and we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.